This is Shoko. Would you like to introduce yourself?
About 63 million people in India are hearing and speech impaired. They may have it because of congenital reasons, having problems in tonsils later in life, become deaf due to work conditions, or war veterans blowing their tympanic membranes off due to gunshots. This impairment can happen to anyone whatsoever, and it creates a certain disabilitating mindset in such people. They start feeling inferior amongst themselves. They are discriminated against by the ignorant. They face joblessness because of this disability. They are seen as a weight on the family members, since they can't add to their income, however large of an investment the family puts in them, and they are a lifelong problem. Always. Why does it happen? Why do they face taunts from family? Why do they face ridicule from friends? Why do they face joblessness, even when they might be skilled at what they do? It's because they don't have a voice. Just because they don't have a voice, they face discrimination from a whole lot of people. Just because they don't have a voice, they feel inferior. Just because they don't have a voice, they get depressed for their entire lives. Just because they don't have a voice, they commit suicide. The question arises, how do we solve this problem? How do we help them communicate with people who don't know sign language? How do we help them have a voice when they don't have one? Maybe, artificial intelligence has an answer. The previous attempts at creating a sign language recognition system have involved convoluted gloves and complex wire combinations which are not at all practical for communication, and require rather expensive hardware. The AI solutions also have had limited success, because they require very specific light conditions for the trained static gestures to work properly, and can't handle dynamic gestures in a manner that regular, practical use would require. How do we solve this problem? How do we handle different light conditions, different hand sizes, skin tones, and gestures, that too, seamlessly and accurately? Well, upon our attempt to get rid of this complication, we found out that if we involve the usage of negative black and white images in 3 points across the brightness spectrum, we would actually be able to extrapolate that data set across all of the affected people, with an unparalleled seamlessness. So, we got to work. We generated our own hand images so that we don't face the infamous data set bottleneck that plagues training in convolutional neural networks. The static gestures were easily handled by the CNN, but in order to accommodate the dynamic gestures, we had to use a frame voting system, mimicking a 3D convolutional neural network. For video classification, we applied the techniques of dropout, data augmentation, and transfer learning, in order to get a high accuracy, an F-score, across 2 lock images, of 18 Indian Sign Language gestures. Achieving real-time, dynamic gesture recognition, and fluent sentence formation in extreme brightness, regular room lighting, and extreme darkness, against all plain and complex backgrounds. Now the hearing and speech impaired can talk to their family and friends with the sign language to English part of our system, but how do the latter communicate with the former? To tackle that problem, we had to build the English to Sign Language part. We chose to make 3D models and animate them so that they could express phrases in sign language, leading to the creation of 18 gestures that can be used in daily communication. Learning 3D animation and rendering of the keyframes took a lot of hard work and patience from a certain team member. But all of that was worth it in our attempt to put a largely ostracized section of our population on the same level as the rest of us, to give them the same opportunities as the rest of us. To give them a voice, like the rest of us. After the adding of chat app and GUI functionalities to our system, we were able to finally test it, and here is a demo for you to see for yourselves, a conversation between two stepbrothers. One having a voice, and the other, having a voice. So at the end of the day, what can our creation do? Well, it can help a specially challenged person talk to his loved one anywhere, anytime, with a simple application having literally no learning curve whatsoever. Recruiters can use it to conduct interviews with the affected people, and actually put them in the workforce, giving them financial freedom and self-confidence that has eluded them for generations. It's the ease of use, and the handling of the most extreme and challenging of test cases, that makes it unique. It was a minor attempt, in our major project, to push the human race forward.